everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here with a little kind of a casual make with me, but also this is an episode of Inspired By. And so recently I've been kind of like in this, I don't know, maple seed connected web with my two friends, Shell at Shell's Creative Chaos and Mary Ellen at Red Parrot. So I'm going to link them both below in the description box. But this episode is kind of like definitely inspired by Mary Ellen at Red Parrot. So this kind of goes back to like a week or so ago. I had a thrift haul and I'd got this beautiful maple seed or maple key necklace that had been like embedded in gold. It just looks like this except it's embedded in gold. And then I was really inspired by maple seeds this past month, just because there's a ton of them here where I live in Ontario. And I mean, I always love them, you know, the magic of the helicopters when you're a kid. And I'm sort of sharing that with my children in our nature study. And so we've been, you know, collecting a lot of them. And there's so many different kinds. I didn't even think about it until recently. So I noticed that, you know, I was just thinking a lot about them, so I did a little bit of design work for my Patreon, and I included some maple seeds that I've painted, and then Mary Ellen did some jelly printing with maple seeds, and that got me really inspired. And it also brings me to the thought of my friend Shell making this lovely journal a while ago with this really cute book called Miss Maple and Her Seeds, and I'm just kind of like in this whole maple thing right now. So I decided to collect some of these on my walk with my kids today, and I've already been playing around with some prints with them, and you can sort of get like two kinds of prints. So, I mean, I'm sure there are many multitudes more, but I'm doing two kinds of prints. So of the actual seeds, you get this beautiful print, and then this is the negative space, which I also like, and I played around a little bit with a few layers with that. I think that, you know, the more opaque the paint, the nicer the print is that you get. I really love these though. I think that they're a lot of fun. And so I had my little jelly plate out earlier today, and I just did a few prints of them. I really love that one. And these were just kind of the ones that I put too much paint on, and then I had to lift the next print. So I figured I would do some more of this, but also maybe some bigger pages. And then after I do the jelly printing, I'm going to actually kick it up one more notch with another idea that's my own from the maple seeds. So I thought we would just kind of get started and do a little bit of jelly plating. If you are, you know, for that, come and hang out with me. And I want to do some kind of weird colors and stuff too. So I think what I'll start with is going to be, I think I want my print to be in, let's do something weird. Let's print in red. So the first thing you're going to do is put down the color that you want the maple seeds to print in, not the background. I'm going to see if I can use this large roller. It really gets a lot more done faster, but I might need to use the other one. We'll see. I haven't used this one in a little while, but no, it seems to be doing the job. And then let me move these papers out of the way, because I want to use this section of my paper over here just for doing roll off for my, this is my sad jelly plate, if you're wondering. I have several jelly plates. This one I need to probably get a new one in this size, because I don't know, it's a sad jelly plate. I don't know what happened to it. But it's my daughter's jelly plate, so I think it's it has seen some things. Let's just say. Okay, so then we'll grab our bunches of maple seeds and just kind of like, I sort of snap them at the first stem, so they're just like that. And then just lay them down wherever you like them. You'll notice that they sort of want to lean one way or the other, but don't worry, once you press them, they're going to start to train themselves to kind of do what you want them to do. Just kind of scatter these around. And I'm choosing to use them whole. You could also use them in half, which these ones are a little bit, these are a little green still. So you could, you know, you could also use them in half. Maybe I'll throw one on there just for the heck of it. And that's probably enough. Yeah, less is more, right? And that's with everything with jelly plating. Now the other thing is I have all this kind of paper that's already been a little bit stained and stuff that's been hanging around in my studio, and I want to just use it up in a way that makes it a little more magical, because it's just been like it's been hanging out in this space where I do some of my it's near my sink, and I do a lot of like splattering and painting and that kind of thing over there. And I had this little stack of paper that was sitting over there, so it's just been kind of picking up the whatever's flung at it. So, you know, with jelly plating, you want to just make sure you got a nice rub on this, and like you'll see the seeds through there. Just make sure that you kind of, you know, rub around on them, and it feels like the plate is stuck down everywhere. It's almost like slightly hand warming the paper, right? And then we're going to do our first pull. Now, I'm going to maybe not use this jelly plate. I forgot to mention that. I wanted to test it to see how it's working, because I feel like it gets really dry. I don't know what's happened to it. Like why? But yeah, this already feels so dry. And you know, sometimes you can get like the paper will actually tear because it sticks so much. So yeah, I don't know what can cause this to happen to jelly plates. Like if they didn't get cleaned well enough, or like a soap that shouldn't have been used on them was used or something. I don't know what's happened to this one, but it's very weird to use. So I might go grab my little one, which I have actually drying over on my drying rack. But that lifted in a way that I really like. And, you know, the paint is dry. That's the thing. I don't know what it is with this plate. Like, it's drying out the paint, which is a benefit. Okay, so then you lift them off, and then you're going to have paint on them, which is kind of another important thing to remember. We'll talk about that later. So I'm going to take a couple of these away and just set them over there. So we'll lift them off. Now, what we have to do now is wait a little bit while these dry, because that's how we're going to be able to lift this print with the next color. Is you have to let your first color dry a little bit, and it does take a few minutes, so I'll take a few little breaks here and there so that you're not just literally watching paint dry. I think that was one of the funniest comments that I've ever gotten on my YouTube channel. Is one day this girl said to me, "I just realized that you had me literally watching paint dry." So I loved it so much. I was like, I don't know, people are so funny and they crack me up. I was like, that is the best comment I think I've had in a while. Like, the sarcasm there was just wonderful. So also, so here is kind of a foreshadowing to later. You see these beautiful maple seeds that have paint on them? Okay, that's going to come later. So yeah, I'll take a little break now and we'll let this dry. You'll see it's already kind of drying though. Again, this plate is a weirdo plate, so we'll see. Alright, so let's now add some electric pink on top of the red. I'm a real retro, like, red and pink fan. Let me just... Some of these paints get a little bit dry. Or not dry, but like the little tiny hole there gets a little bit closed up. I might need a little more paint. I think I do for sure. See, like, I'm retraining my brain because typically I use way too much paint when I'm jelly printing, which is its own calamity. But now I'm using too little. The best way to get good at jelly printing is to just keep jelly printing, honestly. I find, like, the more experience I get with it, the better I get at it. And I'm not a pro, and I find a lot of what I'm doing still to be quite experimental, to be honest. Okay, let's grab another piece of paper. And now hopefully we lift both this pink paint and that red underneath. Now I'm going to just disclaimer this in that I don't know if this jelly plate is going to work, because like I showed you, it's weird, right? It's gone all dry. I don't know what's happened to it. I don't know if I ever made the mistake of using my heat gun on it to dry things. I don't know if you're supposed to not do that, but I imagine it's a bad idea. But what I notice about it is it doesn't clean like my other ones anymore. It's almost got like a film. So I don't know. But I have the other one in the wings if we need it. Okay, so I'm getting something, but I'm not getting everything. And I think, yeah, we're definitely getting some page lifting, tearing kind of situation going on. So yeah, I think I'll retire this one maybe to the sink. Although I don't hate this, I really don't. Hold on. It's okay. And I might try just pulling it up one more time. But look, see, we did get something kind of cool, but it's not perfect per se, right? Let's try one more time just to see if we can lift this. And I'll use a different color again. Try some blue. Let's see. Don't give up. Don't give up. Okay. So yeah, if you have any knowledge about what destroys a jelly plate, or if there's a way to bring it back to life, let me know. Because I don't mind buying another one. That's fine. But I hate to waste them, you know what I mean? It's like, also this one is for my daughter, so it's not a big deal if it doesn't work for these more, you know, specifically harder kind of projects, because she can still use it for what she does. Alright. Try again. Yeah, so I've had a bit of a weird week. I caught this cold for my daughter. She's just, I don't know, this kid has just caught so many things. She's the only one of us who's a little more social, I think. And even though I put her in a mask in groups, you know, it's like she's still around other kids, and I don't mask her up outside so much. And, you know, not that we always used to mask before the world went crazy, but yeah, I notice it more that we pick things up. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this jelly plate is, I think, the problem. Again, like we got a little bit, and this is a great background, but yeah, it's not what I'm looking for. So just give me a moment, I'm going to grab my other jelly plate. So I've chosen again my smaller one. I do have a really big one, and I have some different shapes, but I want to go with this one because I think it's nice for making like half pages or small pages. So let's just go with that. So yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, I caught this little cold. It's not too bad. My daughter's like getting over it. She got like a bit of a fever and stuff. I haven't gotten that. I'm just like, you know, typical minor cold symptoms. So yeah, I'm like looking forward to getting over that. Also, I had the weirdest thing happen with my cell phone. So this is a long story, but I'll tell it to you because we're here. Back in January, I'd had a little crack in the corner of my cell phone because I dropped it into my handbag and it hit something, and it literally hit like right between that little space between like your case and your glass like phone screen cover. Of course. And so my phone is paid for and managed by my work, because it's a work phone that I share for my personal life too. Like I don't have two phones. I don't need two phones. So so I messaged my IT guy and said, hey, you know, this happened. I think I'm due for a new phone anyways. You know, so then he's like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll sort it out. But then within like a week, our company had some changes, and the allocation of like funds for getting new things changed from our team who's always done it to like a different team in a different country. So he's like, I'm working this out. It's a little more complex than I thought. And I said, no worries, I'm good. So I just got a new glass for it, and I'm protecting it for now. So I think it's okay. So then I don't know what happened after that, but you know me, I become a bit of a procrastinator. Like if I don't have to deal with something, I won't. And so, you know, the phone was fine for the longest time. I was like, okay, I can use it, no big deal. So then, I was at a convenience store getting drinks for my kids the other day, and like surely enough my hands were too full and I had my phone kind of tucked under my arm, and it like did the weirdest thing. So it slipped out from under my arm while I was at the cash register. It hit the rubberized mat that's in front of the cash register, and it just like launched into the sky and smashed on the hard floor. Like the guy behind the counter was horrified. He's like, oh no, and I'm like, it's okay. Like it was already on its way out, don't worry, it's not a big deal. But then this white line developed down the center of the screen, and it's like the active window now. Like I can't access any functionality on the phone. Okay, so here's what the first lift should have looked like. Much more clear, negative space, and now we have these. So now it's just this useless phone, and I don't know. So I was like, I better get this dealt with, and so I contacted the same guy, and he's like, okay, no problem, I'll rush it, you know, but like I'm not gonna get it probably until like Tuesday of next week, so that's okay. And then of course this is the kind of week where like I needed to have a phone more than normal to be able to reach my husband, because I had like a medical thing. I had to get like a test done, all standard, nothing's wrong, just to follow up like a 6 months later of checking on something that was fine. And so like he needed to be able to get hold of me to say like, hey, you know, I'll pick you up here or there. And then he actually had a surgical procedure this week, again, something elective and standard, not a big deal, but you know, just one of those things. So like we had all this stuff going on, and also like my work has been exploding, like my day job. I don't know, it's just been such a week. So it's like being sick, having all these things, appointments, my daughter's like finishing out her year of like all her activities, so like everything's wrapping up and they're having like these little parties, you know, to say goodbye to the kids for the season. So it's just been a week, but all that to say, I need a few more minutes to let this dry, so I'll be right back. So the pink is dry, and I'm going to go over it with some green. This is an Americana Hauser Light Green. I like the Americana paint for jelly printing because it's quite opaque. You've got to be careful, you know, if you're not using opaque paints, ones that have too much like kind of not pigment, but like the paints that are a little more like translucent or whatever. They are a troublemaker sometimes. So you get too much of that kind of filler stuff and it can kind of mess up your print. All right. Now I'm going to print just a piece of copy paper, but folded in half, so it's going to be like a half sheet, which is really great for in, you know, your signature if you want to have just a nice background type page. I'm just going to open it up so I can get a little closer to the paint with my hand. Okay. Yes, this is much closer to the desired results. Love that. Okay. Let's do another one. I want to try, what colors do I want to try? So I'm also thinking about, could I do 2 layers of the helicopters with like, or maple seeds with, you know, different colors? I wonder. So let's start with green. This is Deco Art Americana Kelly Green. lay these back down. And I typically put the painted side with the other color of paint back down too, because I like the layers of paint it creates on these. They actually look really pretty once they've been painted. Okay. I'm just going to grab this little paper here. I've been using these pages of these little notebooks that I got thrifting a while back. And they work really nicely. They're a great size for this plate. You could also do this with leaves, little flowers that have a nice shape. Okay, so there's that nice negative print. This is why I leave the stems on, so I have something that's small that I can grab a hold of them with. So I have to let this dry. Alright, this is dry, so let's go ahead and add some paint. I'm going to use a little bit of this. This is Reflects Yellow. Now, this paint, this Amsterdam paint, I've noticed it's not as opaque as I would like, maybe. But it's also a little bright. I want to tone it down a little bit with some burnt sienna as well. So I'm going to throw some burnt sienna on there too. And see if I can get those to kind of hang out together. And make something, but I may need more paint. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going to. But it's okay. We're not, all is not lost. Let's just throw a little more paint there. It's way too much probably, but that's okay. I can fix this. All right, yeah, we're good. Now see what I mean? It's kind of a thinner paint, but that burnt sienna is helping. It's doing its thing in the background to make this a little more opaque. I don't know what it is about Amsterdam paint, but it's just, for jelly printing, it can be a little tricky. And you end up getting these kind of, see the squiggly marks? That's an Amsterdam paint thing. I don't know why. It just doesn't lay down smoothly, but let's see what happens. And also, let's print the other side of this. Whoops, I got a couple little fingerprints there. Let's just smooth it out. Okay. See what happens. Right. Okay, so this is acting kind of like I've seen it act before. So I've gotten some of the prints, right? You see them there. But some of it got left behind. This is the weird inconsistency of this Amsterdam paint. I swear, it's so weird. This is where I wish I had like one of those platforms that I could pick that up again. I wonder if I could, like, shall we tempt fate? Shall we tempt fate? Yeah, it's this piece, right? So let's try to put the corner down. Oof. Experiment, friends. Don't be scared. It's just paper. Don't be scared. Healthy to experiment with things. It didn't get any better, but it didn't really get any worse either. Okay, let's just pick this up, pick it up onto this paper. There we go. So see, there they are there. Okay, let's do another one. This one I want to do in blues. I think I'll do the light blue on the bottom. And this is a really great opaque paint. This is actually one of my very favorite paints. It is Delta Cream Coat in the color Paradise. Whoops. It is a wonderful paint. Okay, time to get a new roll-off sheet because I'm loving how this one looks. That's the other fun part of jelly printing, is the roll-off sheet. You get the most beautiful roll-off paper. Okay, so let's lay these on here again. I'm actually going to save one of these for my other project and put this one back on here. There we go. And I could pick the negative space up on that, but I think, yeah, let's do that because then we'll have that fun yellow in the background. Pick up the negative space here. So with jelly printing, if you're looking for paint to use, you don't have to use like expensive paint. You know, the very domestic deco art Americana is a great paint. But if you're looking, you know, for kind of paint that will have good characteristics, look for opaque paint if possible. Okay, so there's our negative space. And that looks really pretty with that background in behind. I actually like that a lot better than just with the white. But I have another plan for the ones that have white. I'm actually going to do something to make them a little prettier. As with most things I do, there's 800 steps. So, yeah. Okay, so now let's let this dry and I'll be back. Okay, blue's dry. Now let's add some turquoise over top. This is Desert Turquoise. The squeaky wheel. Okay, there we go. Just roll this off. I love this paper. It's so pretty. Okay, now let's pick this up. I'm going to take a little break there. If you noticed a snip, my daughter had to tell me the tragedy about her broken headband that I need to fix. Okay. Let's pick this one up. Not quite yet. I might have a little too much paint on here. No, I'm gonna cry. You know, I did this so perfectly earlier today, and then I'm like, let's film it, and yep. Okay, actually, no, we're okay. Okay, so there we go. We have our maple seeds. Okie dokie. So now, let's kind of recap the ones we just made together. You saw the ones that I made earlier, right? So we're good. So there's the ones we just finished. I love these. These are really fun. They also dry very nice and quickly, so it's good. I'm just going to set the ones that aren't done aside. They're not dry yet. This one is dry. This one is not dry. So we'll add this to our pile of ones that are dry. I love this one. This one, and we did that one. This is the one that didn't turn out. It was just extra kind of background paper. And then this red one, we got a little bit of tearing from that weird jelly print, that weird jelly plate. But overall, I'd say a pretty fun and successful little go at it here. I'll probably do more, but for now, I'm going to clean this up because I want to do another project using these painted maple seeds. They're so beautiful. And I have a couple of ideas Well, really it's one idea, but it involves a couple elements. So let me clean up and I will get that together. Okay, we are back with a warm laminator and these painted maple seeds. I'm going to be using Scotch thermal laminating pouches, which are available like on Amazon or at any Staples or supply store. And what I'm thinking is, I want to do a few different kinds of projects with these in the laminator. So first I have these Tim Holtz framed elements. And while I'm sad I'm going to lose these stitches, that's okay because I want to laminate these. I think it's going to be fun. So my thought is, let's just open this up, find the opening. I always manage to like check every side but the correct side when I'm laminating. It's just my creation style. Okay, so we'll lay this here. Pop our frame in there, and then I'm thinking this one's a little big maybe, but I don't care if it goes over it just a tad. Let's try this one. Oops, stay there. Okay, there's a little bit of space because we need to be able to cut them apart. Okay, can I put that one this way? When you're laminating, it's good to try to maximize space as best you can. So I think this one would be better for there. It's a little smaller. Maybe I can fit it in there end to end. A little fiddly, but not too bad. Then this one can go this way. I want to try to put a second one in there as well in this goldy tone. Yeah. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just cut off the stem on both of these. There we go. Okay, is that enough frames or shall we do one more maybe? I think that's enough for now. Yeah, I don't know how I'm like committed to using all those frames. We'll see. So then I have this little picture of this little girl and she didn't have enough clothes on. I'm not cool with that with my stuff, so I've already inked out, you know, the things that shouldn't have been showing. And I was thinking it could be kind of cute to just put a maple seed here and maybe another one here just to make this an interesting picture. Then I have this little, oh, those papers are falling. This little picture here, and I want to put her on here, and I'm going to add a maple seed with her as well. Then, I don't know if I can fit this one on. It might be, no, it'd be too big, but what I would like to do is use some of this gorgeous paper. So I'll put just a sliver of it. I'm just going to rip it. I'm sure I'm off camera, but I need this little paper sliver here to fill up the rest of my blank space. And I think my width is okay. I need to cut down a little bit of height from this. And then I want to cut it maybe into two, or actually no, I'll leave it as one. I'll make that one piece. That'll be fun. And then I just want to lay maple seeds on top of it. Perhaps 3, as so. Okay, then we're gonna try our luck. You know, I love to put things through my laminator. Okay, I need a support structure here. Hold on. This piece of paper, get it under there. And then I'll fix my maple seeds. Okay, let's just do it again. Calamity. I always forget that I need help getting these up. I don't always need help, but sometimes I do. All right. Okay, all good. Now, put this up here. Always manage, well, I don't always, but I sometimes manage to get going a little crooked, and I think I have on this one too. Also, I want to push that maple seed a little bit. There we go, there we go. I don't know, we might get a ripple. This is just the first one. No stressing, guys. No stressing. Okay, I already like what I see in the first few. The last one is maybe the one that might have problems. We'll see. Actually, I think it's going to be okay. Even though I got a little crooked. It's so funny. I was talking to somebody the other day about how different it is when you're filming. Like, I can do something by myself and it goes swimmingly. I have not a single complication. Binding a book, whatever it is I'm doing. I'm trying to film it. Oh my gosh, it becomes this total clown shoe. Okay, so pretty good, but let's try to pass it through one more time, centered here. See if I can get a better press on this last piece. These all turned out great. I just want to see if I can get a better press on that last one. I sometimes wish these had better guides, so that they didn't get crooked easily. Or like a stop and open kind of function, but yeah. I've never had anything too bad happen, so. Okay. Oh, these are so fun. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, so we have these. Look at the photos. I think the photos are my favorite. And then the tag turned out cool too. And so on the backs, you know, we're going to go ahead and add paper, and I'll stitch around it and whatnot, but I'll do all that at the end and I'll show you. So for now, let's just create another fun page. I'll grab one more sheet here, because we have a few seeds left, a few painted seeds. The rest of these I'm going to put in my dehydrator and use them later for something. So if you would look to dehydrate flowers and stuff, you can use a microfleur, microwave flower press. You can use a regular flower press if you don't need instant, or you can use even a food dehydrator. Yeah. Okay, so this is a cabinet card. It's a little thicker, but it'll be fine, I think. And I just think I want to put like one there, like that, right above her head. That would be cool. This one I thought we could do something kind of creative, and these guys are kind of boring to me. I don't find like men as exciting as I do women in pictures. So I was thinking, like, what if we gave them maple seeds for heads? Okay, not like that, not like that. I'm gonna let it overhang a bit. I don't mind that. Okay, yes. Then we'll take another little piece of paper maybe. This time I'll use some cabbage dyed paper to just fill in the remainder of this paper. or not paper, lamination sleeve. Got there. Okay. Maybe I don't want that one there. Let me see how I feel about this. You know what? I might do something different with these guys. I don't know. I don't know. Let's use this instead. This bigger picture here of this little girl. And we will add maple seeds here down the side. And yeah, okay. Just gonna move this back a bit. My little supportive paper structure here. Try to center this a little bit. There it goes. It's going through nicely. Again, it's getting a little crooked and close to this bottom edge, but it's not impacting the picture because I've left enough room. Sort of gotten used to this laminator going off kilt a little. It's a thrifted laminator, but it works just fine. My husband paid a big $3 for it, and it's been wonderful so far. So I'm just going to pass it through on the opposite direction so it can focus on this side first. Just a little quiet time here. Okay, we'll save these frames for another day. I love them, but I also was like, I don't want to use them. This is what I do with Tim Holtz ephemera stuff. I just hoard it. Okay, so these are out. They turned out really cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so I will go finish this stuff up and show it to you once I have it finished. So everything has been stitched around, and I'll show you these elements. So first we have our lovely lady here with this beautiful maple seed. And these have been backed with coffee dyed paper and cabbage dyed paper. These ones, I decided to leave them kind of like slides, and I braided them onto paper so there'd be some writing space there, so you can turn the slide, you can write on the papers. This one is just cabbage dyed, really fun cabbage dyed paper. And the little girl here with the maple seeds. And another of that sort of slide style. And I used actually some of the roll-off papers that we created while we were jelly printing. And this one, really love how it turned out. And then this one with our cute little girl and her mommy. So yeah, this was a fun little maple seed adventure. So thank you so much, Mary Ellen, for just, you know, taking me to an extra step with all the maple seed study and stuff that I've been doing. Had a lot of fun playing with it. And I will talk to you all very soon. So don't forget to check out Red Parrot. She is linked in my description box. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.